This is Beijing. The deep and serene streets and hutongs of Beijing are like labyrinths. Siheyuan homes on either side of the hutongs are the most popular types of residences in Beijing. A Siheyuan is a traditional residential compound with houses surrounding a courtyard. A courtyard is a small world for a family.
第一眼看到的话，就是首先它那台阶儿，它一共是5个台阶，咱们最高的是9个台阶，有9个的、7个的、5个的、3个的，所以根据它那台阶儿也能显示它的主人的身份。然后咱们往上边看，上边看雕都一些牡丹花，也就是说跟墙壁一样的砖雕一样，牡丹花呢就是代表咱们富贵花。
Siheyuan have left many childhood memories deep in the hearts of Beijing natives. Here, people stop the busy pace of their life and enjoy their leisure time. Probably, the area of Beijing with the highest population density is this time-honored imperial palace, rather than the bustling shopping areas. As a matter of fact, the Palace Museum is a large and magnificent Siheyuan. The Palace Museum is the largest and best preserved traditional palace architectural structure in the world and was first constructed in the 15th century. It has more than 9,000 rooms scattered over an area of 720,000 square meters. The moat and red wall present a site ancient and scenic. If we widen our field of vision, we find the city proper has a well-conceived layout, meticulously designed and planned. The entire city spreads out, with the Palace Museum at the center. The central axial line goes straight and wide through the Palace Museum and is 8.5 kilometers long. In the past, the city of Beijing was surrounded and separated by ring upon ring of city walls. With the passage of time, most city walls are now gone. More than 700 years ago, Beijing was designated the capital of a dynasty for the first time. The ancient Chinese chose Beijing as the capital because of its favorable natural conditions. Beijing is located on a strategic passage to North China and has the Great Wall, a marvel in human architectural history. Though all sections of the Great Wall are much the same with minor differences, different mountain shapes and environments have brought about many changes to the Great Wall. Beijing also boasts many sites of cultural heritage. This is the Temple of Heaven, the largest architectural complex for the offering of sacrifices to heaven in the world. In the eyes of the Chinese people, this circular mound is an earthly representation of heaven. Tourists who visit the Temple of Heaven can experience the echo wall. A whisper at one point on the wall can be heard clearly at a point 40 to 50 meters away. All architectural structures in the Temple of Heaven are neatly arranged along a central axial line. The roofs of all the buildings in the Temple of Heaven are covered with blue glazed tiles, representing the blue color of the sky. In the surrounding areas of Beijing, there are many ancient temples built in line with the landform of the mountains. Legend has it that this stupa holds the remains of the cremation of Buddha's body, hence it is very sacred in the hearts of the Chinese people. According to tradition, people walk around the stupa to pray for good luck and happiness. Deep in the mountains of the suburbs of Beijing are buried 13 emperors. The imperial mausoleums, which have a history of several hundred years, have been well preserved. They are historical sites that attract many domestic and foreign tourists today. The imperial gardens on the outskirts of Beijing add a feeling of leisure and elegance to Beijing. Compared with the solemn palace museum, these imperial gardens with their beautiful lakes and mountains are a delight to visitors. In the past, emperors often came here to handle affairs of state. Of all the imperial gardens in Beijing, the Summer Palace is the most fascinating. It is known as a museum of landscape gardens in China because it is home to the quintessence of all of Chinese gardening art. The architectural structures in the Summer Palace demonstrate different styles, and each has its unique characteristics. They are all perfectly located around an artificial lake. The Tower of Buddhist Incense is the highest structure in the Summer Palace. Looking up at it from the foot of Longevity Hill, the architectural structures are built based on the contours of the hills, gorgeous and magnificent. The long corridor that separates Longevity Hill and Kunming Lake is 728 meters long. It is the longest painted corridor in the world. Walking along the corridor, visitors can appreciate the ever-changing picturesque scenery on both sides. Looking to the west from Longevity Hill, visitors can see a man-made causeway on which there are 6 arched bridges of different shapes. The Summer Palace provides visitors with unending scenes of picturesque beauty. But Beijing has another side. Thanks to its modern roads and forms of transportation, glass-walled skyscrapers, public facilities of all types, and beautiful buildings, Beijing is honored as the World Museum of Architecture. Beijing is full of vitality and modernity everywhere. Beijing now has a population of over 15 million people, and permanent residents of the city proper number 6 million. In Beijing, the central business district, Zhongguancun, a high-tech industry center, and Wangfujing, its busiest shopping street, are always bustling and crowded with people. This is Beijing, a traditional and modern metropolis. Though people cannot live in the beautiful gardens today, many gardens of various sizes can be found throughout the city. Between the dense buildings in the residential areas, exquisite gardens are built for residents. In the northeastern suburbs of Beijing, Wangjing New City, the largest residential area in Asia, is home to 300,000 people. Wangjing New City has proven attractive to a large number of Beijing citizens, and many foreign residents as well. These people of different races and varied cultural backgrounds live here in a compact community. New-style communities of various sizes are constantly springing up in Beijing. The people of Beijing have completely adapted to the modern environment and life. More importantly, green public areas are increasing with each passing day. Green spaces scattered in prosperous areas have brought boundless happiness to older people and children. An evening drum and morning bell were time-telling instruments in Beijing in ancient times. People arranged their daily lives according to the evening drum and morning bell. While office workers are rushing to their offices, others in Beijing are enjoying their morning routine. Each morning, many residents go to Beijing's parks to exercise and participate in various activities. This is a busy gathering. Tourists happily join local residents in their activities. Now and then, they chat with local Beijing residents. October is Beijing's best season. With the western hills covered with red leaves, people vie with one another to get there and see the red leaves. The lives of young people are more colorful. This kind of bar can help them to relax after a busy workday. On both banks of Shichahai Lake, there are a number of small bars, each with its unique character. These bars are places of leisure with distinct Chinese flavor. There are many other ways to enjoy your leisure time. Amateur dancers have their own clubs. Aerobics and yoga are favored by many office workers. All kinds of activities, no matter where they came from originally, can find many fans in this city. Certainly, Beijing is home to many fans of Peking opera, a local type of traditional opera. Peking opera fans can not only appreciate professional performances, but also sing some opera parts themselves. Peking opera fans get together regularly to learn from each other. Sometimes they organize a show performed by amateurs. In this ancient city of Beijing, the traditional and modern coexist in a harmonious way. This is a grand theater with the characteristics of the modern era. The whole architecture floats on a man-made water surface. This is the National Center for the Performing Arts, where grand performances are often performed. In addition, theaters of various sizes are scattered all over Beijing. As the cultural center of China, Beijing is the gathering point for all kinds of cultural activities. At night, people have many choices for entertainment in Beijing. Watching Peking opera and Chinese martial arts are favorite choices of foreign tourists, because these are the most direct ways for them to understand China and Beijing. This is an Oriental salon. Here, people can taste many kinds of famous Chinese teas and participate in various interesting activities. This can probably not be called a true theater. We can regard it as a unique creation of Chinese people. The people of this ancient country are very fond of delicious food and the performing arts. Beijing's most famous food is roast duck. As the saying goes, a foreigner who visits Beijing must do two things: visit the Great Wall and eat roast duck. The most interesting part is before the duck is served. The technique for slicing roast duck is an art. Usually, a roast duck is sliced into 108 thin pieces, no more, no less. Boiled mutton is also a famous food in Beijing, along with a variety of traditional foods, meticulously prepared imperial snacks, and a wide variety of wheat-based foods. The year 2008 was a very important one for Beijing. To welcome the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games, Beijing spared no effort over 8 successive years to turn itself into a hospitable and considerate host. Such great efforts have brought about great changes in Beijing. Urban public facilities have been improved step by step. Environmental problems now attract greater attention, and people find everything fresh and new at many modern Olympic venues. The most amazing venues are the Bird's Nest and Water Cube. More important, hosting the 2008 Olympic Games has brought to Beijing more information from the outside world, filling local people with vitality. Certainly, this does not mean that Beijing does not have any concerns. How to make life in this large city more comfortable and to make it better to live in is a concern to which Beijing must give serious consideration. Traffic jams are a daily headache for everyone in metropolitan cities. This is also true for Beijing. To solve the problem of traffic jams, Beijing is setting up a modern three-dimensional transit network. Great progress has been made in tracking traffic, expressways, and public buses over the past decade. Beijing's subways are being extended at a rate of 40 to 50 kilometers a year. Roads are constantly being renovated. The municipal government encourages residents to travel within the city by bus. Because Beijing is full of opportunities and challenges, Beijing has always attracted people to leave their hometowns and pursue their dreams here. Thanks to the efforts of many people, Beijing is ever-changing and constantly developing.